I'm trying to video a thing, and you're making me as I'm talking. Welcome to part 2 of life-size raccoon. Previously, we put the lamb on the base, and I had mentioned that I needed to alter the arm. As I got to bolting it down onto the ground, and got it bolted down on the base, I discovered that the face is touching just a little too much, and I kind of want to turn it a little bit more out this way. So I'm going to alter the head and the arm. I've already altered it a little bit in the first place. The pose that this was just a normal standing, but the customer wanted a climbing up a tree or a limb. So I actually tilted it back, and if you see, it doesn't have any feet. When I bent the bars, they broke off. They just broke off, and instead of panicking, I just figure when I go to mount it, I will add clay where clay needs to go and shape it accordingly to the position of the base. So I tilted that back, and I altered the mannequin just a little bit bigger than what it was to fit the hide when I go to assemble it. So I'm going to alter this. I'm going to start with the head. I try to do one thing at a time so I don't get ahead of myself. And since I'm just turning, I'm just going to basically do a straight cut, and try to make it easy. And that's about all I want for the alteration. That just keeps it away from the log as I'm trying to get it done, and it keeps the focal point where it needs to be. I have a needle in there. The eyes are positioned more down and looking. This is going to be sitting on top of a gun safe, so it's kind of looking down slightly, maybe like he's looking into the room. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead for insurance purposes. Okay. And I'm going to, Carly, will you hand me that pen over there, please? Thank you. I'm going to mark this where I want it. I like to do about 3 or 4 places if I can. Probably all the bondo that I'll need. For those of you hearing little voices in the background, it's my daughter Carly. She can't learn to be very quiet. Please go sit back in the chair. Thank you. I'm going to stir this. Like I said, I like to make the bondo kind of hot, just because I like to work faster than the bondo. And time is money. And since I have 4 children and 500 million interruptions, I have to work very fast. So we're going to add the bondo here. And here. I like to add to both sides. Hold that thought just a second. And then I'm going to grab some needles here. Press this together. And because this isn't a very big, make sure all my things are lined up. Okay, I got this where I want it, pretty much. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a glove on so my finger's messy. I should have did this before with the Bondo. But I don't always use gloves if I can help it. I'm gonna go ahead and put this where it needs to be. And as it sets up, I will shave down the rasp like I showed you on the last one and get it into position. So now it's away from the log a little better. It's turned a little more to where the focus isn't up on the tree but more so toward the room. A lot of people like that for poses and pleasant. But that just goes to show you what you can do. And I'm trying to decide, I think I'll wait to do the arm. Well, I don't like to rush it, but because we're on a video already, I'm going to go ahead and cut carefully without messing with the Bondo that's trying to set up this arm off. Because what I want to do is I want to bring this arm up, and I'd like to bring it to where it's hanging onto this piece right here. So what I'm going to do, hopefully, oh, it's already starting to set up good. Ha! So I will wait a second. Clean off my other knife. Probably can't keep it in quiet. And it's still a little too wet to do that here. There we go. It's a little rubbery, which is I'm going into the crevice here and just using a knife to just kind of shave this stuff down so that we're not bulking up the neck to where it's a tight fit when I go to assemble a hide onto the mannequin. I really like using for this kind of stuff, especially carving on foam and stuff, a plain old nice steak knife. It works good and they don't cost very much money. I try to use things that I can find cheap instead of spending lots of money on all the fancy taxidermy tools that you can get in the catalog or through the supply companies. And then, what I'm going to do, real quick, is I'm going to cut this arm off, maybe. I might hit a wire. Yep. change. I'm going to rotate the shoulder. Just a little bit. Like so. And this is really all you need to do on these smaller life size, because what's going to happen is I'll get this up here like this, and then when it's time to mount it, I'm going to take the paw and I'll bend it, smooth it with the clay at the proper joint, and just have him hanging onto the branch here. And then I'm going to bond this on, and then after I bond this on and I have this gap here, I'm going to shave this down because the shoulder blade of course is dropped, and then I will smooth in clay here into a new shoulder blade in the new position, so that the arm has turned, or the front leg I guess has turned, and that's all you need to do. It's that simple. So now it's almost ready to mount. I'll go ahead and bond with this later, but I wanted to get you guys to see where we're at here on the angles of the arms and the positioning for altering it to fit the log. Instead of, like I said before, going and trying to find that perfect branch to fit the raccoon after it's been mounted. Thank you, and this is Tuesday's tip with Trisha. Thanks.